Shanti. With the speciality of unity and faith, become full of success, self-progress, and progress in service. For self-progress and progress in service, when someone says something, the other accepts by saying Haji. You can continue to increase unity and determination in this way. Just as a gathering of dadis is strong in their unity and determination, so a gathering of you jewels has to be strong. The power of a gathering can do whatever it wants. The memorial of this gathering is the 5 Pandavas. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today is day 27. With the speciality of unity and faith, become full of success. Today's topic, self-progress and progress in service. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Brother Ramesh was instrument to start something called Spark. And he had 2 things. One is that we use experiment on power of yoga. So lot of people started like 1 hour yoga, and then if they have to do it for themselves or for others and see what is the result. But Baba had just started talking about Sakash. So many of them were doing it, I know, even at the center where I was. And second thing was, then for that experiment, they were taking out points from Avek Murli's and Sakar Baba's. So the book he is talking about must be very interesting. So we will try to find that what are Baba's signals for the future. Must be very interesting. Like, of course, for Bombay, Baba always says they have reclaimed from the ocean. They're still reclaiming any, so ocean will take it back. Many times Baba said. So I think that we all need to know, right? So we will find out. Every time like now, whenever they have Spark meeting, they always have 2-3 books. They don't print it as books, but they are like many pages, because I know they always give me. But today I'm thinking that I don't get time to read, but we should read. How many of you know about Spark? You all know, right? Its books are also in Hindi and English both. So maybe we can look into, could be useful reading and seeing, how we can also experiment. When Gyanamrit and World Renewal began, and so Baba used to ask us if we read. So Baba says, if you don't read your own publications, how will you know that what they are? And I remember even Dari Janki, Gyanamrit, Hindi one, she will read full, and so Baba liked that. Even when Jagdish Pai used to write any book, his books were a little bit deep, this thick book on world cycle, you can keep reading, it's quite a, so Baba always encouraged us that whatever Brahmins write, especially recognized authors. We should always read it, right? So we will find out Spark offices and Gyan Sarovar. Right? You can, huh? Here also. So ask them if they have that book. No. So Baba is saying self progress and the progress in service. If there is more progress than the self, then what will happen? There will never be contentment. Even service is growing, but you still have same feelings. Not happy, not content, this and not. But if there is self progress and service together, then we are more happy, right? So Baba is saying that for self progress and progress in the service, when someone says something, Baba says, then the other one accept by saying, Hanji. There can be lot of discussion on this point. Every point needs really churning and also discussion. You can continue to increase unity and also determination in this way. So Baba says, just as a gathering of dadis is strong in their unity, because we always feel that if there is, we all have yoga with Baba, right? So Baba gives one direction. So if I have yoga, we all have yoga, we will have similar thought. No? It's coming from Baba. So I should be able to tune in, know that. So Baba says just that gathering of dadis is strong in their unity and determination. So the gathering of yours, Baba says, gathering of you jewels has to be also strong. And I find that, it's all drama. It happened that we have worldwide Vyakti Parivar, in different. And I always say that even if there is unity and determination, it's quite a big family, right? So we can set good example, right? So Baba is saying, so gathering of few jewels has to be strong. The power of the gathering can do whatever it wants. Jadi Prakash Bari was very good leader. She won't control, but she was managing. And some people try to control because you can't manage, so you control it. In the latest business world, they always say this one is manager, not controller. So same is whether it is self-management or whether it is any kind of management. Lot of people control lot because they fear that they can't manage. Right? The power of gathering can do whatever it wants. The memorial of this gathering is five Pandavas. We also give example of five fingers. Sometimes we try to lift with one finger, can't do it. Whole hand comes forward. We lift with the right, it doesn't work, left comes forward. Everything in the universe is really that unity, togetherness, gathering, right? And that is why we call it world family. In our retreat, we were asking people to share their experience. This time, everyone said, my link with Baba is better. My yoga is better. So we said, why? What did, is it the classes? This is gathering. Because the vibrations were such, it helps us to have yoga with Baba. No atmosphere, no. Like if we all sitting and having good yoga. So someone who has difficulty will get that help for anything, whether it is a stage or whether it's turning, power of gathering. I was amazed and I kept asking, but how? How come yoga? How come your connection with Baba in the meeting, right? Anyway, we used to have 1 hour yoga every evening, but it's like again maybe unity or love or large family worldwide, something helped them to spiritually also grow. Not it was just a meeting or learning, but also experience of having good yoga. So that means gathering creates atmosphere, right? So if there is unity, there is determination, it will take souls more close to Baba. If there is always some conflict, and then souls will be disturbed. Can't have good yoga also, right? Okay. Om Shanti. Hello.
Hello. Om Shanti, everybody. Good morning to
Good
Didi.
morning.
Good morning to Didi. Good morning to everybody here, everybody online. It's a pleasure to be with you today, and thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this gathering of angels. My name is Sister Philippa, and I'm from the UK. And I came into Gyan at the age of 18, which, as you can tell from my grey hair, was a long time ago. And I was actually traveling around the world with a rucksack on my back, looking for a man in white with a moustache. I'd spent 2 years already in the UK looking for a man in white with the moustache. I'd been having visions for 2 years. I would even stop people on the street who had a moustache and ask them their name and where they were going. But eventually on my travels, I came to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and found a magazine in a bookshop. And it said free meditation course. And I went along and went into the center, and there on the wall was a man in white with a mustache. And I said, who is this? And she said, we'll talk about that later. And I said, no, you'll talk about it now. You don't understand my search for this person. So I did the course in 7 days, and the following week put on a sari and moved in with the sister. There were only 5 BKs in Malaysia at that time. And
you moved it center where? In Malaysia or
Kuala
UK?
Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur, I came to Gyan. And then about 2 weeks after I came in Gyan, we had a very special visitor from a senior, which was Didi Mohini. So Didi was the first senior that I met.
That's long ago, right?
Long ago. It was July 1982. And I'd never met anyone from the organization other than those who were in the center. And Didi arrived, and I was like, wow, this is the Brahma Kumaris, because Didi was so Western in her thinking, and we could relate to her. And Didi, you said something when you arrived which was when we go in the aeroplane, we go up through the clouds, and beyond the clouds is a blue sky. And in our meditation, we sometimes have to go through a few clouds, but we then arrive at a blue sky. And every time I fly in an aeroplane, I always remember you, Didi, because of this point that you made.
Nice to know this.
So you're my travel companion. So I could say more. I work in media and marketing in the UK, and my Lokik background was 20 years working for BBC Radio as a presenter of a program called Woman's Hour, which was on national radio. So that's why I moved towards media service. But we're not here to talk about my story. We're here to have spiritual chit chat. And the Avyakt point today reminds me of something which Daddy Janki used to talk about, and I'm sure you will have heard this, that she would sometimes be sitting in a gathering with the other daddies and coming up with a decision or an idea. And she said that even if her thinking was for something different, she would agree with the others, because she said unity was more important than being right. So she would agree. But then over time, it would often come back to her thought, but it didn't arrive by her asserting her feeling in that moment. That takes quite a lot of farsightedness and humility to put unity above one's own ideas. So I just wanted to share that memory of Daddy Janki. But my first question really is something that you spoke of in a class this week at the integrated retreat that really caught my ear. I'd never heard it before. And you spoke about becoming an angel. And you said, of course, we have to become a child angel and then an adult angel. How do I know if I'm a child angel or an adult angel?
First affirmation we should have that I am an angel. Because I am child of an angel, right? And I always, since I came in Gyan, even before internally, I used to feel I am a goddess. Angels is not common in India. It's more in the Christian. But then as soon as I came, I said, no, because I always believe that we inherit a lot from our parents, no? In Lokik way, you start sounding like your mother, and sometimes if your height, some children are on mother's side, someone on, it's like you inherit from parents. So when I heard, we used to have a prayer, thou art mother and father, every night. Tumi ho mata, pita tumi ho. So when as soon as I had that feeling for God as my parents, so I came to know that it's incorporeal. Okay, I am soul. But then Brahma Baba, he is also my father, even parents, because he became mother also. Shiv Baba adopted through Brahma. So then he also became mother and also father. So then I said that Baba, when he became aware, I am also the child of angel. So this whole awakening as what I inherit from my parents. So first everyone has to not intellectually believe. Sometimes intellectually there is reasoning, so I must believe. But other is you feel that way. Make that reality. And that reality is that I am a child. Now your question is, see, we are born as child angels. And then in the Lokik way, a child, still playful, still loves toys and doesn't know many things. So same happens with little angels are still sometimes not angel. And then we start doubting my own self and others because child angel is very playful, right? And then as you grow mature, you study, you become responsible. So your behavior, your interaction with others is more of that spirituality. And so it's like you are adult. But aim is to become full angel. I don't want to say old one, but full angel. So if I want to be full angel, then my drishti, then the way I speak, way I interact with others, our this full angelic life also is kind of beauty and royalty. So what I enjoy, of course, for my own self, but from others, it's like such beautiful feelings, beautiful and royal. Mm. Because angels don't have desires. Angels are only those who carry God's message everywhere and always reach where the help is needed. Angels can reach anywhere. No, Baba calls it Mansa Seva, but it's like you will know who needs cooperation, who needs. So angel will reach there. I think there are a lot of stories in Christianity about angel. During Christmas, suddenly angel appeared. So I think that all of us are on journey from adult to complete. We're not children, right? We are now adults. But from adult, we have to become complete. This is how we will know.
I love that idea of being the child of an angel. So, what are you going to be when you grow up other than an angel? But of course, Brahma Baba didn't know at the beginning that there was an angelic Brahma. And
No, he knew.
He always knew that? Because the trance messengers would come back and say there's another Baba in the subtle regions.
Yeah, so that was perfect form. No?
That was his perfect form. And it's my understanding that each of us has a perfect form in the subtle regions. And you're a trance messenger. Have you ever seen your angelic perfect form?
I have seen yours too. Because as you're saying, everyone. See what happens that when you go beyond 5 elements, right? First, 5 elements, then body, 5 elements. As much you go beyond, and you are in subtle regions, maybe not in trance, but you feel beyond. So as soon as you reach that beyond stage, so subtle region is of light, right? So when you are reaching there, let's say you gone beyond sky, everything from your body consciousness. So that light which begins of subtle regions, so your form, like if I am in Lokik world, I have this body. So if you are in subtle regions, then what happens? Your body is of light. And that's your perfect form. Because you cannot go to subtle regions without perfect form. So this is how each one of us could feel as we go beyond, as not in trance necessarily, but even with your practice. And as you are reaching towards that light, and if you enter that, because you cannot enter incorporeal world, because once we can't go there. But Baba created this Sukshma Vatan, or subtle regions, for us to be there to communicate with Baba. And I always say Baba has his office there, where you can meet him. And in the beginning, when I start going trance, a lot of new things I was finding. But then I said each one actually can see one's own perfect form if you go beyond five elements, your body consciousness, and then you will see your own angelic form. Of course, in subtle regions, but even otherwise. You will feel from inside that I am now like an angel, you know. You all feel? Yeah? I'm not hearing.
So the Avyak point this morning that the power of the gathering can achieve anything, I wonder if we push that one step further and say the power of a gathering of angels can achieve even more. And as time goes on, I'm becoming more aware of our work as a Brahmin through the angelic form. And I used to, when I was in the subtle regions, imagining it was always only Brahma Baba's angelic form that I would connect with. But I'm now sensing that the subtle regions is actually quite a busy place. There's a lot of us there. And we're doing such work in the world at this time from our angelic form to send sakash and peace and good wishes to a very troubled world. Do you feel we should see that as part of our work as Brahmins to do this, spreading light from our light bodies?
I think it's good you are underlining and saying this in words, which is very important, that this is the time we should really serve in the subtle way. You know, yesterday Baba's message also was hand of blessing, and through your eyes, they should experience God's love, or, you know. So I think that direct words are serve from your angelic state. Like Dadi Janki used to say, people said, when you are karmatit, you leave. She said, I'm not going. I want to serve in my karmatit state. So we all should have a beautiful thought now that we, in a gathering of angels, we will serve the world. You cannot reach many countries. You cannot reach, you know, there is at least 1/3 world is of different religion, and you cannot go there. You cannot, like in Malaysia, you know, which has a lot of Muslim population. And so at the pamphlet flyer, at the bottom, they have to write, not meant for Muslims.
Ooh.
Every flyer they have to write, because they cannot, but still, when I was there, a lot of women journalists came. You know, we had a program. So it's a lot of Muslims, you know, in Malaysia. But actually, they are not, we are not supposed to invite them, or they are not supposed to attend the gatherings, but still a lot of them came. So I think this awareness is very beautiful. And why awareness, you know, our images also, image of light, and serve the world. So gathering of angels is the right word. That's why we say Avyakti Parivar.
Yeah.
Angelic family.
And in the Borg message from yesterday, the point came that everyone should see us as an organization of angels. And today's Murali Baba is talking about turning the world from Kabristan to land of angels. So I'm very much churning this. I'd like to link what we're talking about with the theme for the retreat, which is being a bestower. And I have a question around, on the path of devotion, there's so much a feeling of giving a return of something to the deities. There's so much worshipping and giving flowers and fruit and respect. And yet when we are in the golden and silver ages, we're not giving or bestowing anything to anyone because our action is all neutral action. Do you think it's possible, therefore, that the bhavana to give the return from the devotees is because of what they took from angels at this time. And it's almost like they're experiencing now and they give the return on the path of devotion.
Yeah, it is both. One is that it's not our elevated actions which bring fruition in golden age. No, we say it's neutral. And gradually, very gradually, the purity and other qualities are on decline. We don't use word decline because still they are.
Mm.
But what happens as soon as copper age begins, two things begin. One is Maya, Raman, and other is Bhakti. So worshipping began. So that means we start kind of praying and going to God, and on the other side there is body consciousness. Now, both things begin in copper age. So what we received here, as you are mentioning, at confluence age, then our bhavana emerges not only for gods and goddesses. You know, in India we worship sun, we worship moon,
Mm-hmm.
we worship earth, we
Mhm.
worship fire,
Mm-hmm.
everything. No,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we put lot of ahuti in fire, and for every element, because they bestow, because they give. A lot of people say, "What is this?" You know, it's a blind faith, and no, until now, lot of people water the sun. So what's the purpose? It has many purposes. One is that when you look at sun and be in early morning sunlight is the best. So it's very good for eyes, good for health, and you know, so even some of the things we do as rituals, if you see some of the benefits they have, you know, of course, the respect to sun, just imagine without sunlight and the heat, we can never be warm. Even you can have heater, but heating electricity also from where it will come. So sun is the source of life. Fire is without fire, what can you do? You cannot cook or anything. So I think gods and goddesses worship worthy, but because every element gives something, that is why I, you know, until now have lot of respect for the nature. It sustains you with five elements, but also if there is no water, air, there won't be any farming. You won't get any food. You know, all the grains, everything comes from earth, from water, you know, from sunlight. So lot of people don't respect nature, but I have lot of love and respect. And that is why Baba says you have to serve nature also. So if you are walking, how beautiful the flowers are. Let me take this flower. This fruit is beautiful. Let me have it. So it's not from greed that we just keep plugging flowers, or you know, sometimes it's like you are kind of destroying. But what we have to do, have very loveful. Okay, we take flowers and we will offer to God. So it's like I'm kind of talking to flowers. I'm not going to only put in my hair, or sometimes they put on the badge. They give us and say, oh, please put here. That's okay too. So in the sense, I'm not selfish to just use things of the matter, but you know, I'm respecting nature, serving nature, because nature also, Baba says, na calamities, so many calamities. Somebody said, we say nature provides, they say, but also it destroys, right? But then, you know, there is a short story that they say that Ganges, no, make you pure. So someone went to Ganges, why you take sins of everyone? Why you do it? She said, I don't take it. I send it above. No, because the, and So they said to clouds, why you take all this since? He said, I shower back. That's why a lot of rain, lot of floods, I give back to them. Their sins go back. So calamities are basically,
Exactly.
yeah, it's our negativity, our sins
Coming back to us.
come back
Mm-hmm.
in some way or other.
Yeah. If I can squeeze in a last question, what you're saying about giving regard to the sun and to nature. The sun doesn't consciously bestow. The sun is just being the sun, and the flower is just being the flower, and we feel like we're receiving. Is it the same with our own stage of becoming a bestower? Because sometimes we can consciously bestow cooperation or blessing or good wishes, and that's come from our mind and intention. But other times people feel that they have received something because we have become the embodiment of it, and we become a mirror, and they see it reflected in themselves, and they have a realization. Do you have that stage where you're not consciously bestowing, but you're just being, and that is the form of bestowing?
Yeah, that's actually should be. You know, sun doesn't say, no, I have to shine because I have to bestow. You know, be that, be that. You know, it's not now, let me be loving. You are loving, right? So being is bestower, actually. That's you giving us the answer and question. Anyway, it's really beautiful to chat with you, and I didn't know that you know me since
many years.
Since you are
Yeah.
very nice to have chat with you.
Really lovely. Thank you,
And
Didi.
whole parivar is listening. You are acquainted with a Vyakti
Oh,
Parivar?
yes.
Thank you. Nice to know you again.
Yeah. America to USA in June. I'll come and see you again in New York.